overcome these problems, people has given a concept called what? Arrays. Okay. Before going to arrays, I want to understand class. Okay. Now try to let me take one more example for here. Class test02. I want to store one object values. Okay. Second is what? Second, we try to understand storing object multiple values or object values. Object values in bracket, multiple values. To store multiple values, I have to write the code like this. For example, I want to store a student value. Then what write? Int student number equal to 101. Next, string student name equal to double quotes Hari. Okay. Next, string course equal to CJ. String fee equal to 2500. So like this, we should write variables. So these are the values of whom now? Student 1. Now, I want to store values of student 2. Then what I should do? I have to create all these variables again. For second student, again I have to store all these values. Then tell me, can I use the same variable names? No. I have to take the variable names what? Different. Student number 2, student name 2, course 2, fee 2. Right? If you want to store third student values, again what should I do? I have to repeat the variables with a new value. Again, I have to change what? Variable name. Tell me, now, is this program static nature or dynamic nature? Static nature. That's why, what is the solution we found? Instead of creating every set of variables like this, we have to create a separate class called student. A separate class called student. In this class student, I should declare variables. Whenever you create variables inside a class, indirectly you are grouping all these variables as one unit. You're grouping as one unit with what name? Student. Then wherever you need or whenever you need these 4 variables, then what we do? Here we will create student S1 equal to new student. Then student object is ready. Then what you write? S1.SNO equal to 101. S1.SName equal to double quotes Hari. Next, S1.course equal to double quotes CJ. And S1.fee equal to 2500. When you want for second student, simply we will repeat this logic, right? As many students you want, for those many students we are repeating. Then tell me, are we doing any code change in student class? No. Then are we required to do any change in this program? No. Okay. If you want these objects also created dynamically, I can write what? For loop. I can write for loop. How many objects you want to create? Those many times repeatedly we will write this code. Inside for loop we will write this. Okay. And we will read values from the keyboard every time. Student s equal to int I equal to 1, I less than equals to 10, I plus plus. If you want 10 object, then create student object how many times? 10 times. Each time you are storing the values. These values I hard coded, but you can read values from the keyboard and store. Okay, na? Right. So by using the class concept, I am able to group the variables. Storing object values means storing multiple values of an object. For that, I have to use what? Class and object. Or class and instance, I can say. Class and instance, if I use, then I can store multiple values. But here, still we have one more problem here. What is that? Still we have a problem. What is that? A class can store multiple values of an object. But not multiple objects as one group. but not multiple objects of its own. Multiple objects of its own as one group. Okay, what do you understand here? Tell me. Here I have created student as one new student. New student can store multiple values of a student. This second new student can store multiple values of student. This third new student can store multiple values of the student. But student cannot store all the 3 student objects as a one group. Next, if you take here, 10 student objects are created. By the time for loop completed, control come out, where are those 10 students? All are catching my point? This S1 variable can hold how many objects at a time? One object. Okay, now only one object. Once the student object is stored here, let's say 10, 10, loop iterated, one more new student object is created. One more new student object is created with reference 2020, where you are storing in S variable. When you store in S variable, old 1010 replaced with 2020 or not? Then S variable pointing to this new object. Then what happened? Old object is lost. By the time last iteration executed, S variable contains what? 10th object. Previous 9 objects are lost. So what is the problem with the class? Class can store multiple values of an object, but cannot cannot store multiple objects of its own as one group. Then what the solution to this problem? What is the solution to this problem? That is where object. That's where we got what? Array. Now I'm taking another class called what? Tester 03. And now what you are doing? Storing. What you are trying to understand your third point? Third point, storing multiple values or multiple objects as one group with a single name. Storing multiple values or multiple objects as one group with a single name. Tell me now, here I am trying to understand one thing. Let me take main method. I want to store multiple integers as a one group. Then instead of creating separate class, I can create what? Int array IA equal to flower bracket. What I should write here? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 I can write. Am I right? If I write like this, all 5 values are stored as a one group with what name? IA. If I want to pass all these 5 values as a one group to a method, I have to create static void M1 method with what parameter? Int array IA. Okay, int array IA you can write. Next tell me. Now if you wanted to return multiple values from a method, what the return type I have to take? Int array M2 open bracket closed bracket. I can create this array object here. I can pass, I can return IA from here. Okay, and here I am calling M1 method and by passing what? IA. So if you want store multiple values as a one group, if you want to pass multiple values as an argument to a method, if you want return multiple values from a method with a single name, single parameter, single return type, then I should use what? Array. Okay, similarly, I am taking what object now? Student. Student array SA equal to. Now SA variable is what type? Array. Then flower bracket. Now here I am writing new student of comma. Okay, new student of comma. Again I can write what? New student of comma. Again I can write new student of. So tell me, 3 student objects are grouped as one type by using what? SA. Tell me, can I pass all these 3 student objects as argument to a method? Yes. M3 open bracket. What the parameter should be here? Student array SA. Can I return all these student objects from a method? Yes. M4 of open bracket. Now I am creating this array object inside this method. I can create anywhere. and I'm writing return SA. So possible or not? Yes. Right. And I am calling here M3 method by passing what? SA. So tell me now, if you want to store multiple values as a group with a single name, if you want to pass multiple values to a method as an argument with a single parameter, if you want to return multiple values from a method with a single return type, I have to choose what? Array. Similarly, if you want to store multiple objects of a class, one group with a single name, if you want to pass multiple objects of a class as an argument to a method, if you want to return multiple objects from a method as a single return with a single return type, I have to choose what? Array. All you guys understand my point? So what the use of array? Array is used for storing multiple values. Now, what is the problem here? Okay, what is the problem of array? Array has several problems. Okay, array has several problems. Now slowly I'll explain one by one. Please try to understand. The first problem is it can store only same type of values. It can store only same type of values. For example, here I have created array of what type? Int. For example, I am creating a variable array of int ia2 equal to. Now, floor bracket I am writing 10. Is it allowed? Yes. Okay. Now, comma. I am writing a character. Allowed? Allowed or not allowed? Think. If I create int array object, now each location is a what type? Int. In the int location, can I store 10? Yes. In int location, can I store char? Yes. Char is lesser type than int. So allowed or not allowed? Allowed. I can store. Then can I store here 10L or 20L? Can I store long? No. This variable is what type? Variable. Variable type is int. I'm trying to store what value? Long. Can I store long in int? No. Compiler will throw error. 10.5 or 30.5 I am writing. This variable is what type? This variable what type? Double variable. 30.5 is not variable. 30.5 is what? Value. The variable is what type? Int. Value of what type? Double. In int variable, can I store double? No. Compiler throw error. Now I'm trying to store true. Variable is what type? Int. The selection portion is not value. Selection portion is what? Variable. You must feel there is a variable there. The variable is what type? Int. What type of value I'm trying to store? Boolean. So I cannot store Boolean in int variable. Compiler throw error. I'm writing ABC. And tell me, this variable is what type? Int type. What type of value I'm trying to store? String. Possible or not possible? Not possible. So I cannot store different type of values inside int array. Once you create an array of type int, then all the locations are of type int. I can store either int or int lesser type values only. Now, I'm trying to create a class called employee. I'm creating a class called employee. And I'm creating a class called admin. I'm creating a class called admin. Now tell me, I'm trying to create here an array of type student. Student array SA equal to floor bracket I have written. Then tell me, inside array, each location are of what type? Student. Okay. So student array contains what? Variable. Of what type of variable? Student type. In a student type of variable, what type of value can be stored? Student type value. Then tell me, here new student object I am creating. Is it allowed? Yes. The variable what type? Student. Can I store student object? Yes. I am writing new employee. Allowed? Why? Employee is what type? Employee. It is not student. So allowed to store? No. I'm writing new admin. Allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. I'm writing double quotes ABC string. Allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. So what type of values are allowed inside array? Same type of values are same type and lesser type values are. Same type and lesser type values are allowed. I am creating an array of type double DA equal to floor bracket. Tell me. Now, in this array, all the locations are of what type? Double. In double array, variables are of what type? Double type. Inside double, I am writing 10.5. Allowed? Allowed or not allowed? Variable what type? Double. Inside double value is stored. I am writing 20.0f. Allowed or not allowed? 20.0f is what type? Float. Float is lesser than double? Yes. Can be stored. I am writing 30L. Allowed. I am writing 40. Allowed. I am writing single quote A. Allowed. Why? Because all these are lesser type of values than the double. So if you wanted to store different type of value, I have to store highest range than all these different type. Na? Now tell me. I want to create an array to store student object, to store employee object, to store admin object. Okay, to store admin object. Then tell me, all these three objects, if you wanted to store, I should create an array object. I should create an array object of what type? Person type. Why? Because student is a person. Next, employee is a person. Admin is a person. First of all, did you create class person? No. I have to create a class called what? Person. Just by creating class person, problem solved? No. What should I do? I can create array by using person, but inside person array, if you want to store student, this student should be subtype of whom? Person. Then I have to create student class, extends from person. The moment I write extends from person, then student is become what? Type of person. Then tell me, the error is solved for student. Observe. Why? Student is subtype of person. Student can be stored in person. Similarly, if you want to solve the error for employee, I should write extends person. Then next extends admin. Then problem solved, no compile time error. So tell me, a array can store what type of values? Same type and its lesser type. It can store only same type and its lesser type of values and objects. Lesser type of values and objects. If I want to store a different type of values, possible or not possible? Not possible. Tell me, if I want to store, I want to create an array object where I want to store student object, I want to store lion object, I want to store bike vehicle object. Then tell me, if you want to store a different type of values or a different type of object, I must create an array object. This is, I'll say, person array PA. Okay. If you want to create an array object equal to what type of array I should create? Common type of all these three types I have to take. Who is the common type of all types? Object. I have to create what? Object type array. Okay. Array equal to. Compiler throwing error, lion is not there. Let me create a variable of type what? Lion. Class type of lion. And lion must be of what type? Implements from animal. So according to inheritance, I must create interface animal and I should create line implementing from animal. Next, I should create a class called what? Bike. Okay. Now bike you have to create as interface of whom? Okay, create an interface called what? Vehicle. Then tell. Now I can create either vehicle array object or I can create what? Animal array object. But I can store only animal, but I can store only vehicle. I want to store all types of objects. Then I have to choose what? Object array. If I create an object array, can I store string also? Yes. Can I store number also? Yes. Anything I can store your wish. Can I store Boolean also? Yes. So now tell me, What is the problem of array? It can store only same type and its lesser type of values. Only same type and its lesser type of values and objects. This is the problem number 1. Tell me, what the solution to the problem number 1? Do I need any additional code? No. Okay, to solution, choose what? Object array. Choose object array or create array by using object. So problem is solved. Still we have one more problem. The another problem is its size and length is fixed. Size and length is fixed. Again, sir, all my faculties are telling what? Its size is fixed or length is fixed. But you are saying its size and length is fixed. Both you are saying why? There is a difference between length and size. Size and length are not same. In array, of course, size and length is almost same. But if you carefully observe, both are different. Size means how many values or objects are stored. How many stored? That is size. Next, length means length or capacity. Sometimes we call capacity, sometimes we call length. Capacity means how many values or objects can be stored. This is are stored, past tense. Okay, na? Can be stored is what? Future. For example, I have created an array. Int array IA1 equal to new int of flower bracket 10, 20, 30. I have written. And tell me, what is the length? What is the size here? What is the length here? 3. What is the size? Also 3. Length is 3, size also 3. Why? Number of values available, how many? 3. That means how many locations are there? 3. In all 3 locations, we have 3 values, na? Then we call length and size, both are same. If I create array object in another way, int array IA2 equal to new int of 5. New int of 5. Tell me, here what is the length? 5. What is the size? 0. Why? Because I have not stored any values. Size is 0. Now I am writing here IA2 of 0 equal to 3. Next I am writing IA2 of 1 equal to 4. Tell me now, what is the size? Here, length is still what? 5 and size is 2 because I have stored 2 values. So what is the difference between size and length? Size means how many values or objects are stored. Length or capacity means how many values or objects can be stored. Is it clear, guys? Now tell me. If I create array object here, int array IA equal to new int of 5 I have written. Okay, problem number 1 understood, solution also you understood. Now I am trying to take what? Second problem, and second problem solution you have to decide. Okay, tell me. IA2 I am creating equal to new int of 5. What is the length of this one? Length equal to 5. Then what is the size? 0. I don't have stored any values. Now I am trying to store value. IA2 of 0 equal to 3. Tell me, what is the length? Size 1. IA2 of 1 equal to 4. Then stored length, size, length 5, size 3. Next, size 4. IA2 of 4. Length 5, size 5. Tell me, length and size both are equal. Still, I am trying to store one more value, 5 equal to 7. Allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. Why? Now, the size is now greater than what you call length. Tell me, when we are trying to store new value, is the length automatically will grow? No. The length is fixed with value 5. Then automatically length cannot be increased. Next, why size is fixed? How many values I have stored here? 5. Now remove one value. I store one value, remove that value. I store second value, remove that value. Once you store 2, size is fixed to 2. You cannot remove. Once you store value, you cannot remove. Size will be fixed. Now, remove the third value, remove the fourth value. Possible? Not possible. That's why size is what? Fixed. If I try to store additional value here, we will get exception. Array index, out of bounds, exception. Array index, out of bounds, exception. Okay, tell me now. What is the second problem of array? Array size and length are fixed. Once we create array with some size, it cannot, array, if you create array with some length, its length cannot be grow or cannot be shrink. Grow means increasing, shrink means what? Decreasing. Next, if I store some values inside array, I cannot remove those values. The size will become what? Fixed. Okay, what the solution to this problem? Come on. What the solution to this problem? Solution is we must use collection. Okay, we must use what? Collection object. There is no inbuilt solution like object array. For solving second problem, I must use what? Collection object. We must use collection object. Let me show you that. We have one of the collection called what? Array list. There are several collections are there. I am trying to take one example here. Array list of what you want to store? Objects. Okay, array list of objects. Why the syntax I didn't understand? I also not understand. So Eclipse is giving, I am following. Okay, array list of object. AL equal to new array list of. Now tell me, what is the capacity of this collection? Length is 10. For the length, 10. We created length what? 5. Okay, but array list internal capacity is what? Or internal length is what? 10. Now, how many values I have to store? 10 values. Is array list array? Is array list an array? Come on, guess. Is array list an array? Yes or no? Is this array? Line number 40. Is int array an array? How can I say? By using square bracket. If square bracket is there, then we call it as what? Now tell me. Line number 48 array list. Is it array? Where is square bracket? And array is there, then array. Because the name is array, it become array. I am giving you on a paper lion. Then is it a lion coming and eating you? Okay. Tell me. Array list AL equal to new array list here. Is it array? No. What is this? Class. Array list is a class. Like student, like employee, it is also one class. If it is a class, if you want internal members, if you want to access, I should access by using square bracket or dot. AL dot. There is a special method given in array list class called what? Add. What the method name? Add. Add. I'm storing what? 10. And then tell me, what is the length here? 10. What is the size? Size 2. Blind fellow. Size is what? 1. Now, as many times I am calling add method, those many values are keep on adding. Either same value or different value. Your wish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, what is the size value now? 10. Tell me, what is the length value? 10. So, size reached to capacity? I am trying to store one more value, 11, let's say here. Now, what the size? 11. For the size? 11. Now, will you get array index out of bounds exception? Yes or no? Na? If collection also throwing array index out of bounds exception, then what the need of collections chapter, Tumri? Yes or no? Tell me. Collection will get exception or no exception? No exception. Right. If you want to know system.out.println, now I'm writing here AL dot. There is a method called what? Size. And now there is no capacity method. We have to display AL. Observe now. 11 elements are coming or not? So look at there. Initially, what is the capacity of array list? 10. But now it is automatically growing its capacity and storing 11 or not? So tell me, when to choose array, when to choose collection? Array also meant for storing multiple values as a one group. Collection is also meant for storing multiple values or multiple objects as one group. So when to choose array, when to choose collection? If you want to store fixed number of multiple values or fixed number of multiple objects, then I have to use what? Array. If you want to store dynamic number of values or dynamic number of objects. Dynamic number means what? I don't know how many values I store. When we don't know how many values to store, when you don't know how many objects to store, values are coming, objects are coming at what? Runtime. And time to time, the number of values, number of objects are changing. Then I have to choose what? Collection. Everyone understand? Right. Now, let me ask you next question. Simple example I am giving you. Which one you choose, try to answer. On database, I am running select query. Select star from student. Select star from student. Okay, where condition also I am writing. Where? Actually, we will write like this. All classes will write in a separate line. In a company, when you are preparing queries, each class, we call it as what? Class. Select a class, from class, where class, try class, catch class, CLAUSE class. Okay. Select from student, where student, where course equal to single quote CJ, core Java. Tell me now, if I give like this, how many students will come from this query? 4 students. 4 students will come up. In a student table, how many records are there? Those many records will come. Yes or no? Today, some records are there. Tomorrow also, same number of records will be there. There is a chance number of students increased or not. Number of students decreased or not. That means this select star from student will always give the same number of records. Time to time changing or not. Then, I want to write a Java program to read all the students from the database and display on the browser to the end user. So, for example, our MD wanted to know how many students are there in core Java. So, he has a button, select core Java, which course you want to see, select the course and click on get. He selected the course called core Java and click on get button. Then all the students available in core Java report should be generated or not. So I have to write a Java program to run the select query. The select query returned values, returned records must be stored in Java program as objects. As objects. As what object? Student class object. First student row, student class object. Second student row, second object. Third student row, third object. 10 rows, 10 objects. Then tell me, I have to store all these 10 objects as a one group or not? Which collection I have, which object I have to use to store as a group? Variable? No. Variable can store only one object. Can I use a class? No. Class can store only one object, multiple values. But here, what is my requirement? I want to store multiple objects. Now I have 2 options are there. Number 1, array or collection. Which is recommended? Array na collection? Collection is recommended. Why? Because time to time, number of values are changing. Time to time, number of values are changing. So we have to choose what? Here, collection. Which collection? Array list. So we must use array list object. Okay, everyone understand? Right. So what are the different problems of array? If you want to store multiple values as a one group, I have to choose what? Array. To store array, to use array, first I have a problem number one. It can store only same type and lesser type values of object. Then choose what? Object array. So if I choose object array, what is the another problem? Its size and length is fixed. What the meaning of size fixed? Once you store number of values, we cannot remove. So size is fixed. Once you create an array with some length, then its length is also fixed. You cannot grow its capacity and you cannot shrink its capacity. What the solution? We must use collection object. Then third problem is there. The third problem is, it is a raw object and a plain object. Doesn't perform, doesn't have inbuilt methods to perform different operations. Okay, for example, I have created an array, int array ia equal to flower bracket 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, now I want, okay, let me take this one in a zigzag order. Okay, now I have created all these array with all these values in zigzag order. Now I want insert one element in middle. Insert one value in middle. Possible? Not possible. I want remove one value from anywhere. Possible? Not possible. Next, I want sort array, or I want to sort all values in ascending order. Possible or not possible? So array doesn't have inbuilt methods to perform all these operations. If you create array list object, if you create array list, let me show you directly practical. Cannot perform different operations like insert one value, remove one value, sort one value. What the solution to this problem? Same solution. Solution is what? Collection. Okay, let me show you practical. Here I am creating let me take directly this array only. Remove. Okay, zigzag order it is there. Now I wanted to sort all values available in the array. For that, we have one inbuilt method. Sorry, it's not possible. Okay, not possible to perform any operation. Sorting, not possible. I have tried logic by my own. For sorting, I have tried my own logic. Removing, I have tried my own logic. Inserting, I have tried my own logic. Instead of you do all these things, if I choose array list of what type of values you have? Integers. Array list of integer AL2 equal to new array list of AL2 dot add of 10. Okay, next value is what? 50. Next value is what? 30. Next value 20. Next value 40. Then I am displaying this array list AL2. Okay, control F11. What value is coming? 10, 50, 30, 20, 10. Now I am calling a method al2 dot sort of. I have to pass null. Let me pass. Don't ask any question at this stage. Then tell me now the elements will be available in the collection as a sorted order or a same order. Sorted order. Look at that 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Do I need to write any logic or not required? Not required. We have an inbuilt method. That method simply I need to call. I want remove, say 30, I want remove. al2 dot remove of. al2 dot remove of. Which value you want remove? 30. Okay. You have to pass as remove as 30. Then what you have to do? Look at that. 30 removed or not? So do I need to write any logic? No. I want to insert one element. To insert one element, there is a method called what? Add. Add of. Where you want to insert? I want to insert index number 2. What you want to insert? I want to insert some 150. I want to insert. Then look at there. 150 is inserted in the second location. 0, 1, 2. So tell me, how much easy for me to solve the array problems, right? Then tell me what the third problem of array. It is a raw object, doesn't have any inbuilt methods to perform different operations. So like insert, select, insert, remove, sort method. What the solution? Array. Nothing but collection. All people understand the problems of array, right? So I want to store one value, then use what? Variable. Then what is the problem? It cannot store multiple values as a group and cannot pass multiple values as an argument and return from a method. What the solution? I should choose class. Then class can store multiple values as a group, but problem is it can store only one object multiple values, but it cannot store multiple objects. So as a solution, I have to choose what? Array. I have to choose what? Array. So array, if I choose, I can store multiple values as a group. Also, I can store what? Class objects as a group. Right? So next, what is the second problem? Second problem is what? Size problem, type problem, size problem, and then what? Inbuilt operations problem. So to perform all these problems, to solve all the problems of array, we have what? Collection. So all get some idea on collection now? Okay. Now, listen, I'm writing something like this. I'm creating array object again. I'm creating array object again. This array object storing all values in which order? In which order? Insertion order. In which order I inserted? First, second, third, fourth, fifth. In insertion order, all values are stored. Okay, na? In which order? Insertion order. Okay. I want to retrieve them. After inserting, I want to retrieve them. Can I retrieve them randomly? IA4 dot IA4 of can I pass it to? Yes. This is stored in which order? Storing order. Storing order, IO, insertion order. Retrieving order. Retrieving order. Which order? Random access order. Which order? Random access order. Anywhere I can go zigzag and I can take. Okay? I don't want like that. Okay, na? Array can support only two orders. Number one, insertion order. Storing order is insertion order. And retrieving order is what? Random access or sequential. Random access or sequential. My requirement is I want to store objects in a different order. Maybe insertion order. Okay, na? Or maybe hash code order. Insertion order I want to store. Hash code order I want to store. Sorting order I want to store. Different orders I want to store. Look at here. I wanted to store objects in insertion order. Then I have to use one collection called array list. Array list of I am taking objects. Array list of objects. AL equal to new array list of AL3, new array list of. Okay, then AL3 dot add of, I'm writing 10. AL3 dot add of, I'm writing here double quotes A. Zigzag order I'm writing. AL3 dot add of some double quotes, let's say B. Okay. AL3 dot add of, I'm writing 20. Okay, let me try this one here first. Now AL3 dot add of, I'm writing double quotes 97, and I'm writing double quotes 98. Like this, I'm storing values in zigzag order. Currently, I'm explaining collections or problems of array. I'm explaining problem of array practical. I'm showing the solution given by collection. I have not started collection yet. Collection not started yet. Just I'm showing problem of array and then solution by using collection. Just I'm showing. I have not started collections yet. Then now I am trying to display them. Tell me, here also elements are stored in which order? Insertion order. Storing order is what? Insertion order. Control F11. Look at there. All values are storing insertion order 10, B, 8, 20, 97, 98 only, na? Right. Next. Now I am trying to retrieve the elements. Okay. In which order I can retrieve elements? Random access. To access element randomly, there is a method called what? Get. What is the method name? Get. Collection is a class. A class, if you want to access the members of the class, I have to go with what? Methods. Add method for storing, get method for reading. Now I'm giving what? 2. Then tell me what value will get? 0, 1, 2. B will come, A will come. Are you following my point? So tell me, what is this order? Random access order. Random access order. Tell me, like array, collection is also supporting insertion order storing and random access storing. Na? Now, what I am trying to do, the same objects I am storing now. The same objects now I am storing with another kind of collection we have called what? Hash set. What the collection? Hash set. Hash set of objects, HS equal to new hash set. I'm not explaining collection. Don't confuse. Oh, I'm not understanding, sir. Worst fellows. Brain, put the brain. Have the common sense. I am not explaining collection. I'm just using the collection. I myself using collection to tell the advantage of collection. When to use collection. Tell me, if I use hash set, tell me which order you want to store. What the different orders we have? I can store objects in which order? Insertion order. I can also store objects in. Now, this is the fourth problem. What the fourth problem? Array can store objects. I can say elements. Can store elements only in insertion order and retrieve only in random access order. Okay, na? What the solution now? Solution, collection. Collection can store object in which order? Insertion order. What do you call it? Hash code order. And next one is what? Sorting order. And next, this is what? Storing order. These are the storing order. And also allows us to retrieve the elements in random access order, sequential order, only sequential order. Also, it can allow us to retrieve in, first out order, last in, first out order. Last in, first out order. So different orders are there to store and retrieve, right? And then now, for example, if I take hash list, what you call a collection called array list, it maintains elements in which order? Insertion order. It stores the objects in insertion order and allows us to retrieve in which order? Random access. Still I need to go. All right. It can retrieve me what? Random access. Okay, random access. Now, if I take a hash set now, Observe now, elements are stored in insertion order. I have to change to HS, right? Look at that. Our values are stored in insertion order? No. Some other order coming or not? Okay, na? So that is what kind of hash code order. What is the hash code and all coming classes I'll explain. This is what order? Hash code order. So just you need to remember this terminology. That's it. Okay. Hash code order. What is that? Don't understand. Just accept the words. Hash code order means what? I'll explain you. Next, I want to store objects in sorting order. For that, we have another collection called what? Reset. Reset of integers. Or you can take as a string ts equal to new reset of. Then ts dot add of double quotes a. ts dot add of double quotes c. ts dot add of double quotes b. System dot out dot println ts. Observe now. Elements are stored in which order? Ascending order. Means sorting order. So if you want to store objects in what you call hash code order, you have to use what you call hash set. If you want to store in sorting order, you should use what? Tree set. So tell me, we have different kinds of collections available or not? Right. So different type of collections are meant for storing objects in different orders. So array supports only one order of storing: insertion order. Okay, Oppo 97. What is your name? Oppo A7. What is a array? Array is a raw object. It doesn't have inbuilt methods to perform different operations. Then, now what is the solution? Collection. Collection has provided a different implicit objects. By using, different implicit methods. By using those methods, I can perform operation. I have one method to store. I have one method for get. I have one method for insert. I have one method for remove. I have one method for sort. I have different methods to perform different operations. So instead of choosing array, I have to use what? Collection. Then what the fourth problem? Array can store elements. Array can store elements. Array stores elements only in array stores elements only in insertion order, and retrieving order is random access order. Random access order. Then what the solution? Collection. Collection, different collection or one collection? Tell me. To solve these three problems, I require different collection or one collection sufficient? Thing. I want to store multiple objects with a different type. One collection sufficient with internal array is what? Object array. I want to solve size problem. One collection is sufficient. I want different methods. One collection is sufficient. For solving these three problems, one collection is sufficient. But now tell me, to solve this fourth problem, one collection sufficient or not sufficient? Not sufficient. I want to store objects in insertion order. One collection. I want in hash code order. Another collection. Sorting order. Another collection. Random access order. One collection. Sorting order. Sequential order. One collection. First in, first out order. Another collection. Last in, first order. Another collection. To support different order of orders, one collection class is not sufficient. We need multiple collection classes. Now tell me, what is the chapter name? Collections framework. What the meaning of framework? Framework means multiple classes. Multiple classes as a group is called what? Framework. So why string is not called as a framework? Why wrapper classes are not called as a framework? Because all those classes are not comes under one group and all are performing different operations. Whereas collection contains multiple classes. All these classes are performing same operation, collecting objects. What operation? Collecting object. For collecting objects, why these many classes? Because different order they want to maintain, different storing order and different retrieving order they want to maintain. That's why they are choosing what? Different collections. So tell me, if I wanted to solve type problem, and if you want to solve size problem and inbuilt operations problem, one collection class is sufficient. But collections is one class or many classes are? Because many classes are to solve which problem to solve? Fourth problem, that is what? Different order. Already catch my point? Right. So generally, all faculties and YouTube authors or textbooks are covering only first three problems only, because I have mentioned only these three problems in the material. Okay, na? So in material, I have mentioned only these three problems. The next two problems I have not mentioned. So the next two problems I will cover in the class so that I can catch the people who are following our material. Is it clear? So array has more two problems. The more two problems are, number one, what do you call this problem is, fourth problem I want to take. Cannot store elements in different orders. Can store only insertion and random access. Here, cannot store objects or elements in different order. In a different order. Okay, sorry, different formats. Cannot store elements in different formats. If you want to store objects, there are two formats are there. Have you ever visit any kirana shop? If your mother asks you to buy rice, okay, then we went to kirana shop. On kirana shop, there is a table. On table, some rice bowls will be there. Different varieties of rice bowls will be there, na? Tell me, how do you know which rice quality is what price? Huh? You ask that owner. No. Can you say what is the price of each rice? But all are looking same, right? For us looking same, but for owner it is different. Now on each bowl there is a 1 hour price tag will be there, na? What the price tag is telling you? The quality and price of the rice, right? Now if you take the rice one, then its price is what? 40 rupees. Rice 2, price is 42 rupees. Rice 3, price is 45 rupees. Then now all the people tell me, there is a object called rice. It has an identity, na? Now, if you go inside the shop, there are some other items are there arranged properly. Do you have any identity to them? No. So sometimes we want to store objects with identity. Sometimes I want to store objects without identity. Okay, for example, now I am writing some data, okay, on the screen, I am writing some data that is 7279, okay, HK, and I am writing CJ and Naresh IT. Okay, na? I have written something like 4 values. Then tell me, by showing these 4 values to the user, can he understand? One layman going on the road on a paper written, hey, come here and tell me what is this data. Can he tell? He look at your face and how do I know what is this data? Get out. Now, I am writing the same data like this. Employee number 7279. Okay. Employee name Hari or HK. And next course CJ. Okay. Course place I am writing teachers. And then I am writing institute. Okay. Institute I am writing Naresh IT. Now I am storing this data like a tabular format and I am storing data like array format. Then tell me what is the difference between array format and tabular format. In array format, you have index number 0, 1, 2, 3. This index number will give any identity to the data? No. Index number not giving any identity. Tell me, tabular format is giving any identity? Yes. Tell me how many formats I can store data? 2 formats. Tell me which format is good? Table format is good. Which format is good? Table format, array format? Both are good. But as a owner, why I need the tax? Unnecessary extra cost for me. I know which rice item is what the price, right? I know inside which bag what is there. Everything I know. When I know the meaning of the data, why extra tax required? Unnecessary time waste and memory waste, money waste. So both are best. Array format is also best and table format is also best. Then what is the difference between them? When you want identity to the data for other people, then I have to follow table format. Identity not required. We know which value representing what. Then table format is best. Then how many formats? Array format is best. How many formats we can group? 2 formats. Tell me, array can support only 1 format. Then what is the solution? What the solution? Collection. Okay. Now tell me, how many collections are required now? 1 collection or 2 collections? In 1 collection, can I maintain 2 formats? No. Table. Okay. First array format and then what? Table format. Tell me. So if I want to store array format, I need 1 collection. To store table format, I need what? Another collection. So there are 2 collections are there. First one is what? Array list. Second one is hash map. What the collection? Now I'm trying to take a class called what? Hash map. Now the first part is called what? Key, and second one is what? Value. The key of what type I'm taking? String. Value of I'm taking what? What do you call it? Integer. I'm taking integer. Then hm equal to new hash map of hm dot. I want to store 10 as value 1. Okay. Or else let me take the same example. I'm taking what here? Array list. Array list of I'm taking what? Object. Array list of object. AL equal to AL3 or 4, AL4, AL4 equal to new array list of. Okay. Now I'm trying to store AL4 dot add up. Now I'm writing 7279. 7279 is my employee ID. AL dot, now I'm writing my name, Hari. Okay. And I'm writing core Java. I'm writing next one is what? Naresh, right? Now system dot out dot println. Now I'm writing AL4. Look at that. 7279 Hari core Java Naresh ID is coming with identity or without identity? Without identity, right? As it is displaying. Then if you show this data to a layman, can he understand what is what? No. Now the same data I am taking by using another collection. We have hash map. Also we have linked hash map. I am choosing linked hash map so that it is easy for us to understand. Linked hash map of object comma object. Key is object, value also object. You can take any type based on your requirement. Okay. Next, new linked hash map. Okay. And method name is not add. Method name is what? Put. 1 second. LHM. Okay. Method name is what? Put. Put off. All points I'll explain the coming classes. Today my target is just making you understand what are the problems of array, what the solution by using collection. Now, what you want to call 7279 as string employee number. Next, Hari, what you want to call employee name. Core Java, what you want to call? Teachers. Where is the teaching? Institute. Okay, save it. Control F. Look at there now. Compared to previously, the second format data is easy for the layman to understand what is what. Tell me which option we have to follow: array format or table format or both? Depends on our requirement. So tell me, we have different collection classes or not? So finally, what you have to understand: collections framework is divided into how many groups? Two groups. One is for storing array format. Another is for storing table format. Next, now in array format and in table format, I want to store objects in different order. Now array can support only one format: insertion or random access. If you want to store array format or table format in different formats, then I have to choose what? Other collections. So totally, how many groups of collections we have? Two groups. How many collections are there in the both groups? 18 collections are there. How many? 18. So 18 collection classes you need to learn. Any collection class you take the same story: add method call, get method call, put method call. Method names are fixed, but their internal implementations are different. So totally, how many problems are there to the array? Come on, how many problems? 5 problems. First problem: cannot store different type of values and objects. Different type of values and object. What the solution? Object array. Collection not required. Object array we have to choose. Next, its size is not growable or its size is fixed. Then what the solution? Do you have any inbuilt solution? No. I have to choose what? Collection. Next, it is a raw object. Doesn't have inbuilt methods to perform different operations. Then, do you have any inbuilt solution? No. I have to choose what? Collection. Cannot store elements in different format. Then what the solution? Collection. Cannot store elements in different order. Cannot store, can only store insert and random access. What the solution? Again, I have to choose what? Collection. So hope all you people understand. So what the problem of array? Then what is our main target? In our projects, our main target is what? Storing values and objects. Storing values and objects. So tell me, finally, to store values and objects, what are the different ways we have? So we have totally 4 ways. Tell me, first one is what? By using variables. Number two, by using class object. Number 3, by using array object. Number 4, by using collection object. Which is best? Which is best? Collection is best. If collection is best, why entire this nonsense you are learning? If collection is best, why Sun Microsystem has provided all the 3 approaches? So don't tell blindly by that is best or this is best. You have to take decision. All 4 are best. Depending on situation, we have to choose. I want to store only one value or one object. Then I should choose what? Variable. I want to store one object's multiple values and objects. Then I should choose what? Class object. I want to store fixed number of multiple values or objects, not and or objects. Then I should choose what? Array. Now I want to store fixed or dynamic? Dynamic number of different type of okay, same or different type of values or and both values and objects in a different formats and different order. Then we have to choose what? Collection. So did you get a final conclusion? Understood or not understood? Really? Uploaded zip file, download from there and practice. Next, whatever I have explained today, all points are there in material, theory points. Tomorrow, today I have explained theory cum program, both. Tomorrow I am going to start working with each collection class. What the purpose of that collection? How many collection classes are there? Complete list I will give you. You have to follow Xerox material 3. Okay? Xerox material 3. Sometimes Xerox material 3 has a problem, it will not open, okay? You just close it and reopen. Page number 221. Xerox material 3, page number 220. 221. All these pages. Okay, first page, I guess, yeah. First page complete. Okay? And tomorrow I'll explain you second page. Okay. Next. If you want one more time listen all the explanation I gave, you can also use videos. If you want to listen one more time, but in videos this much elaborated I have not given explanation. This is the playlist. Where you are checking? In system or laptop or in a mobile? Find one mug of water and jump, okay? You have to by heart the terminology. Clear? What the terminology I have mentioned in the material, you have to by heart the terminology. If you don't by heart the terminology, tomorrow class, you cannot understand. And I'm not going to run behind you, understand or not understand, understand, not understand, I don't tell. Today class, if you by heart, tomorrow class, you will understand. Every day, collection chapter has to go progressive way. Today terminology will use tomorrow. Tomorrow terminology will use day after tomorrow. Collections framework means all classes are meant for performing same operation. So one day if you practice, remaining classes will be easy. So if you are not practicing, day by day, collections will become very much complicated. Thank you. That's all for today class.